Hi everyone, it's Anja here and I'm back with another video for Ophelia Talks. And today we are at week 5 of our Lizzie blanket cal. This week is called Lydia, the youngest daughter, of course. And this is our last sequence of 5 rows that I'm going to be showing you. These 5 rows you will have to repeat 6 times throughout the blanket, and that will give you 30 rows to do this week. I, of course, am going to continue on my sampler with the correct colors. I hope you are still going to be working on your sampler, and this is a part that you will be making this week. And go to the blog for the written pattern and the list of colors. So the last kitty row is a parchment berry. So the first Lydia row is going to be a row of double crochets. So we're going to put them in the same way as we have been doing in the kitty week, where we put 2 double crochets in the chain space here. So it's camel, the color. Oh yeah, I have to undo my last pull through the new color, and then of course we are going to chain 1, turn, do a double crochet in that very first stitch, transfer your stitch marker into the V there. Right, there we go. So yes, we are doing double crochets, and I'm going to just be placing them as you have been here. Of course, this is how you're going to be doing that, because this is your transfer from Kitty to Lydia. And for the next transfer that you have to do from Lydia 5 to Lydia 1, I will of course show you later on in the video how to go about doing that. So a double crochet row all along this row, and that means of course you are doing 194 double crochets. So here we are, my last 2 double crochets, and then here we've got the stitch with the stitch marker for the last one. There we go. So I'm going to cut off my yarn. Of course, you're still working on your 1 color leftover sampler. Okay, so the next row is in mocha, and we are going to do kisses. Yes. So change color, chain 1, and of course 1 double crochet. We always start like this, don't we? Swap your stitch marker. There we are. And now we are going to get started by doing 2 double crochets. So 1 in the next stitch and another one in the next stitch as well. So we start with basically 3 double crochets. Now we are going to do a kiss over 3 stitches. So you're going to skip 1, 2 V's. In the 3rd V, you're going to do a double crochet. Then you do a chain, and then you are going to do a double crochet in the first stitch that you skipped. So you yarn over, you go back to that first stitch here, insert, pull up a loop, So you're already working around that double crochet there, and do your double crochet moves. There we go. Okay, then you are going to do 2 double crochets in the next 2 stitches. So let me show you again. A kiss, 1, 2 skipped, double crochet in the 3rd, a chain, then you do a double crochet in that first stitch that you skipped, and then once again 2 double crochets. See, so this is what it looks like. So it's 2 double crochets and then a kiss, but we are putting a chain in the kiss, and in a moment when you put Lydia 3 on there, we will be making sure that we put a double crochet, I believe it is, in here to open up that kiss, so that will define it a little bit more. So here you will be doing 38 repeats of the 2 double crochets and then the kiss. So here we are going to do a kiss, and here I have 1 stitch left, but I believe in your version with your 194 stitches you will be ending in 3 double crochets. Okay, this was the only row that didn't work out for my 32 stitches here in my sampler, but that's okay, don't worry. You are going to be ending in 3 double crochets, so you'll have 2 more stitches left here, and you'll be doing just like you do here, 3 double crochets. So on to Lydia 3. We are now going to be using walnut, and I'm going to pull through the color, chain 1, turn, and you do your first double crochet, then of course the transfer of the stitch marker. There we go. And now we are going to place a double crochet on top of every stitch here. So if it's a double crochet, you just place it on top of the double crochet. But of course, you know you've done chains in the kisses. So you're going to place your double crochet in the chain opening there, in the chain space. So first of all, here we have a double crochet. Then we have a chain space, double crochet, double crochet, double crochet, and double crochet, and then here we have the chain space, so make sure you put 1 in there. And this of course should ensure that you are back to your 194 stitches. Of course the stitch with the stitch marker. There we go, and waiting for the color. So that was Lydia 3. So let's get on with Lydia 4. So we are going to pull through the color dark brown. There we go. Chain 1, turn, and you're going to do a double crochet, and of course, yes, move your stitch marker. And for Lydia 4, we are going to be doing Elizabeth beans. So you're going to chain 1, skip 1, in the next stitch you're going to do an Elizabeth bean. And you do that without yarning over first. So you insert straight away, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert, and pull up a loop. You now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 loops on your hook, and then you yarn over and you pull through the 6 loops on your hook. Then you're going to do a chain, skip 1 stitch, and into the next stitch, no yarn over, straight into the next stitch, doing your pull-ups and yarn overs until you have 6 on your hook, yarn over and pull through. Chain 1, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through, chain 1. No yarning over. You'll get used to it, don't worry. And this is how you are going to do this row. And you are going to be making these adorable little beans. And because you don't do a yarn over, you get this little strand lying diagonally there. And I just love the look of that. And so you're going to be doing 96 repeats. So 96 Elizabeth beans. I am doing this sort of movement with my hand, and that helps to do this stitch and to do it uniformly. So chain 1, skip 1, and then towards the end you're doing your Elizabeth bean. And of course, then you just have your stitch left with your stitch mark. So you don't do a chain because you can't skip 1. You're just going to do a double crochet in that stitch. There we go. Okay, so that finishes that row quite nicely. Then, of course, you're going to cut off the yarn. And we are going to go over to khaki. Row Lydia 5 is going to be a row of double crochets. So undo that last pull through the new color. There we go. Chain 1, turn, double crochet straight away in that first stitch, and of course you are going to move that stitch marker. There we go. And once again, here we are going to have to decide where to put our stitches. So as I said before, we have that little strand there which makes a nice diagonal line. So I want to make sure that we see that diagonal line, and I'm going to place a double crochet right here into that opening, into the triangle, and then 1 on top of the bean, and then 1 into that triangle, and that opens up that triangle a little bit and it gives it more definition so we would see it better. And this is a row of double crochets, so place them nicely onto that row. Look, see, and now I've got sort of that, as you can see, it's quite a nice structure there, texture. You can see the holes. That makes it a nice effect. So I am going to continue like this to the end of the row. And once again, yes, you are doing 194 double crochets. And then here we're at the end. We started with a chain, so you're going to do a double crochet around that chain, and then of course you've got your last stitch marked with the stitch marker. So this is for me the last row of my sampler. So we have done the 5 Lydia rows, which is a double crochet row, the kisses row, a double crochet row, the Elizabeth bean row, and then another double crochet row. So those were the Lydia rows, and this is my sampler that I did. And of course, here is my sampler that I already did in my leftover color, and I keep turning it because of course there is not really a front or a back to it because of the uneven repeat rows. And so each time, you know, sometimes your stitches to the front, sometimes it's to the back, so that makes the blanket, you know, have no front or back. So I do like that. So I'm hoping that you have made this as well, because next week, yes, next week it is border time. And as you know, it's going to be a double border. So I thought it was a good idea for you to be able to practice your double border. If you've never done one before, it's really worth trying it on a small piece. So we have now made this, and this is going, I mean, look, when I did it, it wasn't perfect. It doesn't matter, of course. We are going to use this as our trial sample for the border. So make sure you have got your sampler next week ready to try out your border. But of course, as well, make sure that you have finished your weeks if you are, you know, if you have the time and if you can keep up to finish the blanket. But of course, it doesn't matter. You can work on this blanket whenever you want, you know. I just loved the principle of this blanket, the concept, the way we've built this. You know, 5 rows each week, which you repeat. Simple rows, some of them, more complicated others. And it makes for such nice, varied crochet that I thought, yeah, I really enjoyed making it like this. So I hope you did too. So enjoy making your blanket, and certainly if you're up to date, making your week 5, and I will see you ready with all your ends hanging out. Yes, we are not going to be weaving in any ends. Do make sure you go to the Facebook group and post your progress there, because we would love to see your pictures of the Lizzie Cal. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!